तीर्त्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्तः आत्मा रामो विराजते। तीर्त्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्तः आत्मा रामो विराजते। Having crossed the, what's happening today? Having crossed the ocean of delusion, Tirtva Moharnavam Hatva. Moharnavam, the ocean of delusion. Tirtva means having crossed. Hatva, having killed. Having killed whom? Ragadveshadi Rakshasan. Killed the monsters of likes and dislikes. Yogi Shanti Samayukta, the sage united with peace, Atma Ramo Virajate, revels and shines in the Atman. Atma Rama. Rama means reveling. Atma Rama means reveling in the self. Virajate, he revels and shines in the Atman, in his own Atman. Thank you, GM. Atma Ramo Virajate. Having crossed the delusion, the ocean of delusion, and killed the monster of likes and dislikes, the sage united with peace revels and shines in the Atman. Now, there's a subtle reference in this verse to the epic Ramayana. The Ramayana, as you all know the story is the reunion of the self or the ego with the self. The ego, Sita, separated from the self, which is the Rama, the self. So the entire reunion of the individual who have separated himself from the self. And when you are separated yourself from the self, the pain and the agony, the suffering you go through. As we know what Sita was subjected through when she was separated from Lord Rama, her consort. So the entire journey, what Rama did was he collected the monkey forces. The monkey, each monkey symbolizes the thought forces, and the monkey and the nature of a thought and the nature of a monkey is unstable. It is restless. So the thought forces need to be directed. So he conquered the thought forces. And killed the demon of likes and dislikes. Crossed the ocean of delusion. So it's very poetic. Now, what's important for us to note is the Shastras have often highlighted the likes and dislikes to be our own enemies. Here he uses Rakshasan. He calls them as demons or monsters. This is not taught to us from early childhood, that your own likes and dislikes are your monsters, are your own demons. There's no education system out there which teaches this to us. So every one of us are constantly feeding into our likes and dislikes. Now, why we have come to a certain rationality and understanding how the likes and dislikes are detrimental to our own well-being. See, projecting the world is nothing but a projection of one's own thoughts. And if we project the world from our thoughts, which is the irrational, which is the likes and dislikes, is an irrational aspect of your personality which belongs to the mind. The mind is the irrational. There's no rhyme or reason. You can't give a reason why your mind likes something, or why your mind has developed a distaste for something. So when you project the world from the mind, which is your likes and dislikes, it's not going to be favorable to you, he says. Because the thumb rule of life, you must understand, is the world out there is not designed, is not structured to satisfy any particular individual out there. So even each one of us, the world out there is not designed to satisfy Maniji, it's not satisfied to Ramji, it's not designed to satisfy Sushmama, nor Annapurnama, nobody, nor me. So first thing we must understand is the world I am born into is not designed to satisfy me. So when I project my irrational aspect of personality onto the world, likes and dislikes, your desires and demands, your expectations and your wants, this is the irrational aspect of your personality. And this is one of the first things we have to learn in life, that the world is not designed to cater to it. That's one. We don't know that. Secondly, when you project your likes and dislikes onto the world, and when the world doesn't fit into your likes and dislikes, it's obviously going to cause a certain unhappiness, isn't it? Because the world doesn't fit in. And thirdly, what you like or what you dislike, what you may like in life may not be the right thing for you to do. And what you dislike may be the best thing in your interest. I'm only saying maybe. There's that possibility. It's not necessary. It is a thumb rule, but you can't take the chance. So I may like to do certain things, but it may not be the right thing. So since you don't understand this, you get into paying the consequences on operating on the likes and dislikes. And above all, he says likes and dislikes are the Rakshasa because they destroy your peace of mind. End of the day, you can continue to give various arguments, but as long as a Rakshasa is someone who doesn't give you any peace or comfort, so your own mind, your own likes and dislikes destroy your peace of mind. And we need to understand this as a fundamental principle of our contact with the world, our relationship with the world. These are the fundamentals we all have to understand, get ourselves grounded and rooted. Therefore, he says you got to conquer these demons of likes and dislikes. And one who has done that, that sage, united with peace, revels in his own self. So, and the best way to checkmate this constant persecution, constant onslaught of our own likes and dislikes. You are dealing with the world, you may not like a person's attitude, you may not like a person's character, you may not like a person's nature, you may not like the weather, you may not like the government, you may not like the traffic rules, you may not like a person's, you may not like a person at all. I don't like that person. However said and done, that person is not designed. So I may have a certain emotion, but I still have to get along with that life, isn't it? All of us are paying the price for this likes and dislikes, which we have been feeding, we continue to feed. The only way you will bring in some peace, bring in some equanimity to the mind is by, okay, how do you bring peace and equanimity to the mind? Ashama, if I can ask you, you have a world of your own. You know your world very well. You also know how your mind behaves. As I've said, the points I just said, how your mind wants and demands. But how do you find, end of the day, your peace of mind should matter to you, isn't it, Ma? So how do you think we should find peace? Don't tell me it's all Ramji ki kripa. I know we're also talking of Ramji only. His kripa is there, should be there, will be there, always there. But because I know, I've said that phrase to her is because whenever she messages me with so much of love, I'm touched every time I get a message from her. I'm showered with the love and devotion she has. And she says, Ram ji ki kripa rahe aapke upar. Bane rahe. Ram ji ki kripa bane rahe. Therefore, I didn't want to ask anybody else except her. Boliye ma.
If we start liking what we have or what we are blessed with, I think that is the best way to have our peace of mind. And not expect anything else or desire or have any other desire. जो है उसी को मुकद्दर समझ लिया. That is the best way to live life.
What does mukaddar mean?
Destiny, kismat.
Okay. It's so nice to inject these thoughts into wherever one is, isn't it? So to accept the principle of, I'm just saying what you said, deserving rather than desiring, So in effect, what we are trying to do is you've got to help rationalize your irrational mind, which is expressing through the likes and dislikes. You don't seem these likes and dislikes in a very threatening way. You don't think they actually in any way threaten you. Do you, Gayatri Ma? Do you anyway see your likes and dislikes threatening your peace of mind?
No, I don't.
In fact, how do you view them?
when there is a fear in us, then you feel like threatening, like that we are not getting, or there's a craving in it for the likes and dislikes, either or. When we function in it, then there is a feeling of that fear.
But you don't look at your likes and dislikes as an avenue which cause fear, do they? In fact, you resort to them to find peace and happiness, isn't it? So look at our approach and what the Shastras are saying. We resort to these likes and dislikes to find peace and happiness. And the Shastras are saying these very likes and dislikes are destroying your peace and happiness. This is the paradigm shift we need to bring in our understanding. That's where the real wisdom lies, isn't it? Hmm? Isn't it, Ma? We seek happiness in it, and he says there's no happiness in it.
Mostly we are not aware that we tend to keep doing what we like and brush aside what we don't like. We are basically not aware of it also.
Yeah, but I was very aware this evening. I had a conflict between 2 likes and 1 dislike also. Never mind, I'll not mention the dislike, but there was a like. I wanted to watch cricket match. The Ramji, the WTC final is going on, no? By any chance, have you switched on another system in front of you?
No. Namaste, Guru.
No, huh?
I have not switched on. I am sitting in another room and under my wife's watchful eye, and then I am not switching on anything else.
You're right. No, that is the second point, is the most important point. So
Yeah,
whenever you are
correct.
under the watchful eye, that's important, isn't it?
Yes.
I may. So you may like to watch the match, but yet your duty says, you have to go and be here. There's a certain amount of, you may feel a certain amount of discomfort. If you've given me a chance, believe me, I would not have taken the class today. There was such a, not because of the match, because such a discomfort I was feeling the whole afternoon. My head was in splits. I couldn't rest. I was struggling to keep myself. The body is very tired, and I had such a headache. Ideally, I would have said no class today. I just want to be with myself, just quiet, relax. So what you like to do, what you dislike to do, it is very easy to surrender to them. What I'm only trying to say, I'm not trying to impress, certainly not, but it's very easy to surrender to them, surrender to your ego, and believe that's the right thing to do. And that is where the intellect must come and intervene and start replacing those powerful impulses and likes and dislikes with your duties and obligations and reasoning and measuring. Is my action driven on the mind or the intellect? So analyze it. But at moments when we don't analyze this mind's likes and dislikes or emotions, then what happens is you get very inwardly restless. So rationalize your emotions, your reasoning, your impulses, your likes and dislikes. That's a very, very important element you need to bring into your action. That's when you conquer the powerful Rakshasan, the demons of your own mind and intellect. And even if today the world caters to you, it's not necessary tomorrow it will continue to cater. It's changing. And another concept is the mind is constantly changing, the intellect, the world is constantly changing. So to find a kind of compatibility between you and the world is going to be very difficult. There's no compatibility between you and the world. So therefore, you need to ensure it's not externally driven, but rather an internal rationalization of your expectations. Because if you really want to find harmony by relating with the world to what the world is giving, it's rather difficult. You have no control over it. So rationalize your own expectations, and perhaps you will find great comfort. And here he's saying the sage has united with peace, revels in his own Atma. That's the cue. It's not out there, it's within. Okay. I'm not going into the story and the further parallel which we draw in Ramayana, because we have spoken of it in other context in detail, you know. So you can fall back to that reference. I don't know where exactly I spoke, but we have spoken of it. Okay. But minima, all okay? Okay, good.